Hey, I'm Astronomy, and then this is a guide on setting up the new telescope that you did get. This tutorial will use my new 8-inch refractor telescope here, but you can apply these concepts to whatever telescope is yours. Perhaps you got a reflector, or even possibly one of the Cassidy grains or something other such configuration that doesn't, it's not even possible yet for viewing. So the first thing you're going to want to do out of the box is mount your scope. You could just put your scope on a table for viewing or something, but this puts unwanted strain on the neck region of your body, and you don't want to be going to the doctor because they don't really know about telescopes and are more focused on health. Also, there isn't many tables outside, unless you go to a park or something, but those usually close at like dusk depending on your prefecture, and you may run into some citation problems from the local law, so that's not your best bet. You want to maximize your time for sky viewing and not get tied up in the whole rigmarole of whatever else is going on in life. So yeah, a mount is the way to go. Now my telescope came with this German equatorial mount, which basically follows the sky in more of an arc when you're viewing. But yours might be one of the Lazy Susan type Dobsonians, which run on alt-azimuth power. Now I looked up what alt-azimuth meant, and I think it's basically just a fancier term for the Coriolis effect, which is that's mentioned in the movie Shooter and the ghillie suit level, the Pripyat level of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, one shot, one kill level, I think is that one. Or all ghillied up, I can't remember, but yeah, that's mentioned in there, so that should be good. There's different mounts for different needs, but I'll get more into those in another video. Okay, so once your scope is mounted securely like this, you will need to do what is known as collimate it. Now this is very important. This aligns the mirrors and the lenses more precisely in your scope, and some astronomers such as Galileo have even compared this step to tying your shoes before starting a marathon. So it's really important, or at least somewhat, I guess. I don't know. Now it's usually going to be pretty well collimated out of the box anyways, but you'll need to do some fine-tuning in case your telescope was shipped on a rickety old barge or something and the mirrors got all jostled around. On refractors like this, it's quite simple to collimate actually. So what you're going to want to do is just pick an object roughly 600 to 690 meters away and shine your flashlight on it. If you look through the scope and the light is perfectly round with minimal diffraction spikes, congratulations, you just collimated. With the reflectors and Cassidy grains, this is a little bit more involved of a process, but the concepts are basically the same. You're going to want to get that nice round light spot. Also, many newer telescopes these days are packaged with laser collimators, so you won't even have to use your flashlight anymore. Okay, so once your scope is mounted like this and perfectly collimated, you're going to want to focus it. You can't be seeing those distant planets and nebulas if you're out of focus, obviously. So, is it nebulas? Nebulae for the plural. I don't know. Okay, yeah, you may notice some numbers on the side of your scope, such as the focal length or something like that, which is essentially the maximum viewing distance allowed by the optics in your scope. In the case of this refractor here, that would be about 160 miles, or 8 by 20, as shown on the side here. Usually some simple math will sort of reveal these calculations within your brain. They say Newton invented calculus, but I haven't found that to be the case particularly. Yeah, so use your focus ring to bring your desired object into view. There should be a little plus and minus on many focus rings to tell you if you're getting better focus or worse focus when aimed. The minus being a negative, of course, and a worse focus, and the plus being a positive or a better focus. You can think of it like that. You can play around with large objects like the moon or Mercury or something for focus, but for a very fine-tuned focus, you're going to want to focus on one of the more raggedy or messier objects in the sky, such as like the Sombrero Galaxy or the Dumbbell Nebula. Those are a little bit more smudgy and messier, so yeah. Okay, remember when I said to fine-tune your focus? Well, that all depends on your eyepiece. So many telescopes these days come with 1 or 2 eyepieces, usually measured in millimeters, like a 5 or a 25 or like a 500 sometimes, if your eye's really big. So these basically allow you to increase or decrease the magnification of the telescope. Now the eyepieces are inverted, meaning the larger the eyepiece, the shorter amount of time you'll need to focus it. So just plop in whatever eyepiece you think will best allow the aperture of your eye to see. Or the diameter of your eye, basically, the aperture. You can measure the aperture of your eye with a small ruler and then see if the eyepiece will comfortably fit within your eye socket there. It's usually a good way of doing that. Okay, yeah, well basically you're all set up, and now the only thing left to do with your new telescope is find a nice dark area for viewing, such as the basement, away from any pesky light pollution. Okay, thanks for watching, and let me know what objects you're able to see. Perhaps the moon for the first time, or a distant plane up in the sky or something, or like a galaxy behind it, so that's good. Okay, clear eyes.